Hi, welcome to Polyphonic Press. I'm Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new album by Kings of Leon entitled Mechanical Bull. Here we go. So Kings of Leon are an American rock band formed in Nashville, Tennessee in 1999. They were put together by three brothers and a cousin and were signed to RCA Records in 2002. That same year they released their debut EP, and although they've gone through some personal hardships, they've consistently released albums ever since. And this is their latest album, and it's called Mechanical Bull. This album starts off with the song Supersoaker, which is also the first single from the album. It has a very uplifting sort of rhythm and beat to it, and to me it sounds like they're kind of going back to their sound of their earlier albums like Youth and Young Manhood. Although the production is a little more polished, the songwriting and the instrumentation is sort of a return to form. I think maybe this is where the band kind of feels a little more comfortable. They've, had their experimentation with big, huge production and sort of almost a pop polished sound. But it kind of feels like they're going back to the sound that feels most comfortable for them. This is an example of a well-constructed pop rock song, and it really straddles those two worlds really well. I think the song could have been improved a little bit if they added some heavier guitars, maybe some fuzz tone on the guitars or something like that. But other than that, it's a pretty decent song. The song Don't Matter is a much more heavy rock song with loud guitars and just pounding drums. It's got some punk rock elements in there as well, with the driving beat and the sort of the muted guitars in the verses. The song is very energetic, and it sounds like they're just kind of cutting loose in the studio. It doesn't sound like they did too many overdubs or anything like that. It sounds pretty live and pretty in the moment. I can definitely hear this song being a staple at live shows and sort of being a classic among hardcore fans of this band. I also thought the blistering guitar solo was really well done. It really kind of elevated the song and gave it exactly what it needed. The song Temple really reminds me of like mid-90s alternative rock. It really sounds like something that a band like Gin Blossoms or Dishwalla would do. It's sort of a throwback to that era, and I'm not sure if that's really what they were going for, but it definitely has those sort of elements to it. It's got a very consistent beat and loud guitars, but it's kind of brought down in the verses. So it has a lot of dynamics going on as well, which is really nice to hear. It's not just a flat sound straight across. It's sort of playing with the volume and the amplitude and really giving some textures to the song. The song was also chosen as the third single from the album, and I can definitely see why. I can definitely see this getting a lot of radio airplay, maybe not as much as it would have had it come out in like 1995, but I can definitely hear this song being played on like rock radio. It's a radio-friendly song that doesn't have lyrics that make you kind of want to cringe. The third single from the album is the song Wait For Me, which is sort of a ballad kind of thing. It starts off with a guitar playing with a heavy amount of chorus on it, which gives it sort of an early 80s kind of new wave feel. The song is very personal. It sounds like it was written in response to someone who was dealing with Caleb Followell as he was going through his kind of alcoholism. It's sort of telling the person that he's better now, which is a lyric in the song, and it's sort of that part of his life is over and he's looking towards the future. The lead guitar in the chorus was something that I really liked. It doesn't really overtake anything or anything like that, just kind of playing off in the distance, and really gives some sort of dynamics and some texture to the whole song, and really sort of complements the lyrics and the message of the song without sort of overpowering it or kind of choking the sound. That's definitely one of my favorite parts of the song, and I thought it was really beautifully done. The song On the Chin is another kind of ballad sort of song, although it's got a bit of a country flavor to it, especially with the use of pedal steel guitars and the kind of southern accent that is sung with the vocals. I think this is a pretty solid song, but I think by the time you get to it on this album, by the time you reach this point, the album kind of drags on a little bit for me. You're sort of tired of hearing these songs with really not much energy behind them. The album starts off really strong, but by the time you get to about the second half, it really kind of slows down and just kind of feels like it's dragging on. This is a good song, and there are a handful of good songs on the backside of the album, but really it's hit or miss. And the album ends with the song Last Mile Home, which is kind of a U2 kind of thing. At the beginning it has a sort of pulsing rhythm with a guitar kind of playing this consistent sort of chord. I think this song has a lot of potential with the uplifting chord in the chorus, but really it just kind of falls flat because of the performance on this song. It felt like that these guys were kind of bored with this song, and I think it really has a lot of potential to have a lot of emotion behind it, but they just didn't really achieve that very much. The song really lends itself to being very emotional and energetic and very kind of engaging, but they really just sounded like they were going through the motions on this song. It didn't really feel like they were engaged with the song, and there was a bit of a disconnect between the song and the performance. Like I said, this really has the potential to be a really great song. I just didn't think they quite got there. The production on this album is very good. I really like the big production that they went for on this one. It really suits the songs, and I really like the drum sound that they got on this one with the deep snare. But to me, this album is a little all over the place stylistically. It starts off really strong, like I said, but by the second half it really kind of falls apart and really just kind of drags on quite a bit. I think this album would have been better if they had played around with the sequence a little bit, maybe had songs in different order, maybe left a couple songs off and really made something a little stronger, but really it just kind of drags on in the second half. So for that reason, I'm going to give this album a 6 out of 10. So anyway, that's what I thought about the album. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you'd like to suggest an album for me to review, please leave that in the comments as well. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Last.fm. And I guess that's about it. Take it easy.